Evan Elder comes through us last week for the lock of the night play there, and that pushes our record now to 58-17 for plus 24.61 units for a 6% ROI, and that's just for 2023. It's very good to start getting a couple of them together now after a little bit of a slump. We had 2 straight losses a couple weeks back, but now we've gotten back-to-back hits, and that's usually the trend of things, is that we usually get a solid streak going along when we're able to tie 2 of them together. So let's see if we're able to do the same thing this weekend. I believe all 3 of the candidates that I gave last week hit as well. We had the McKinney and Sadikov under 1.5, as well as the Francisco Prado and Otman Azaitar to go under 1.5 rounds. Let's see if we can go 350 this week as well. But remember, there's only one lock of the night prediction that I hone in on out of the 3 candidates I give you. And if you want to see exactly what it is, I've already posted it on the Patreon, so check the link in the description below. Not for the MMA Fight Archive, which is a separate service in itself, in case you guys want to do any of your own research for the wide variety of events that we got going down this weekend, from LFA to Cage Warriors to ACA to A1 Combat Fighting. We got a ton of work there for you guys, and CFFC as well. For every single competitor on those upcoming cards, we have direct links to as many fights as possible as we can find from all corners of the web available for you on one page. So it makes it very easy for you to go out there and do your own studying. 7-day free trial available. Check that in the link in the description below as well, and find out why we're closing in on 45 subscribers now in the last 2.5 months since the launch of the Fight Archive. All right. Let's get into the top 3 candidates for the lock of the night prediction, in my opinion, for this week's UFC London card. First of which, we're going to go with Joelle Alvarez at minus 190. He's taking on veteran Mark D-Cacy, who's had his takedown heavy approach in his last fight come to a halt, as Michael Johnson was able to stop all 6 of his takedowns. Mark D-Cacy was rendered having to just strike against the superior technical striker, and he ended up coming up short in that matchup. The previous 2 fights in D-Cacy's career, he had 19 completed takedowns over 2 fights, which started a 2-fight winning streak where he was able to outgrind guys like Vyacheslav Borshev and Damir Hadzovic. But I think his last fight was a reminder that as he takes steps up in competition, it's going to get harder and harder for him to just go out there and be D1 Casey, as we've kind of been calling him. Alvarez is a very dangerous opponent who's always looking to finish his fights. He comes forward, throws big heat, and is very active even when he gets taken down. His last fight, he got stopped, or his momentum was stopped by Arman Sarukian, and that's not a bad loss to have on your record. Before that, he was smashing dudes and not even showing any of these guys respect. The most important one, or the most significant one in my opinion, was the way he walked through a guy like Thiago Moises. I had Moises as a lock of the night that night, and I was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into as soon as that fight started? Alvarez is a massive lightweight, as you'll have a 5-inch, 5-inch height advantage, as well as a 4-inch reach advantage in this matchup. He's going to be massive in comparison to D-Cacy, and then I think that will allow him to go out there and just put the pressure on D-Cacy, and we've seen D-Cacy crumble under pressure in the past. I expect that to happen once again, and Alvarez to get the finish. So Alvarez will be the first lock of the night candidate for UFC London. Second candidate, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but Molly McCann, minus 190. She's going up against a 1-4 fighter in the UFC, and Yulia Stoliarenko, a fighter that, really just has one move. She wants to get you to the ground, and she wants to try to pull off an armbar. Or if you look to get her to the ground, she's actively going to be seeking the armbar. The only person she's been able to complete it against in the UFC was Jessica Rose Clark, who willingly went into a guard and paid the price for it. However, we've seen time and time again that she can be stifled. Stoliarenko, not a great striker. She's very robotic. She's very easy to take down and very easy to pass into more dominant positions, so you can shut down her armbar game. And I feel like Molly McCann has been making solid improvements throughout her career. Credit to her for even taking the last matchup against Erin Blanchfield in a spot where, she had a lot of momentum and a lot of fanfare going her way, but that was a fight where she was completely outmatched. If she's able to keep this fight upright, which I believe she will be, Stoliarenko's takedown game, not the greatest. Judo, not bad, but I think she's going to struggle to get McCann to the ground, and that will allow McCann to do what she wants on the feet. And I expect it to open up another spectacular knockout opportunity for her as well. Again, I'm not a big Molly McCann believer. However, I feel like the UFC has propped her up perfectly in this matchup, especially as the co-main event slot for this UFC London card, for her to go out there and get another spectacular finish and send the crowd into a frenzy. The third and final lock of the night prediction and candidate that I got for you guys is going to be the Tom Aspinall and the Marcin Tybura to go fight to go under 1.5. Now, that specific prop has hit in 13 of the 15 fights in Tom Aspinall's career, and given the speed and power advantage he has early in this matchup, I fully expect him to lay Marcin out and finish him within 7.5 minutes, likely within the first round. I think Aspinall is more than ready to get back right into title contention, and after being off for a full year due to that ACL injury, I think he wants to return with a statement of a win, and that would look like him going out there and demolishing his opponent, Marcin Tybura. I've been a naysayer of Tom Aspinall in the past, but the guy continues to go out there and prove me wrong. And I feel like he's only going to really feel resistance once he starts fighting the top 2 or 3 guys in the division. Marcin Tybura is just not that. So look for an early finish here from Aspinall, which is why I'm honing in on the under 1.5, which you can currently get at -175. And there you guys go. Again, if you want to know which lock of the night candidate I went with as my official lock of the night prediction, you can find that out on the Patreon, link in the description below. Make sure you guys check it out. Again, this was supposed to come out on Tuesday. Got a little wrapped up with some car issues yesterday, but I'm going to be dropping my lock of the night candidates right now. And then later this evening, 9 p.m. Eastern time, I'll have the dog of the night candidates out for you guys as well. So make sure you guys keep your eyes peeled for that. See you guys later tonight. Peace.